Wazobiadi. Wazobiadi. How does that sound to you? Beautiful, isn't it? That is what the new generation of Akwa Ibomites should be vying for. That is what we should be canvassing for. That is what we should be applying pressure on our state government to act upon. To push them to lobby with Abuja to make Ibibio language the fourth largest language, the official language of Nigeria. We want Ibibio to be the fourth official language of Nigeria, so that we won't be talking about Wazobia. We will be adding D to it, so it will be Wazobiadi. It's overdue. Already, Ibibio language is one of the oldest languages in Nigeria, not to mention Africa. So many elements of Swahili language, which is spoken in East Africa today, is a derivation of the original ancient Ibibio language. We are so fortunate to be the custodians of one of the ancient languages of Africa, of West Africa. From our movement, from our migration down to central Nigeria, today where we have the Jogon area, the Mambila Plateau, which constitute Taraba State, Benue State, all the way before we moved forward into, what we know today as Abia State, and some took the enclave, which is the southern part of Cameroon, all the way to reunite in a place we call the Promised Land, which is today Akwa Ibom State. We are a very blessed people. Whenever you speak your language, how do Nigerians react? They'll be like, guy, this is my language sound like Chinese language. This is a language, they're very funny. Because it is so out of place. It's one of the oldest languages, the whole of Cross River State, all the way down, it constitutes Ibibio language. All their languages has elements of Ibibio language. All the way from Obudu. I remember I had an Obudu neighbor, they were speaking their language, whatever it was. But as I was speaking, I was able to understand so many things. Imagine, look at the distance from all the way Obudu. But when they spoke, I was able to understand so many things. Same thing applies to people from Ogubra. When they speak, you can understand so many things they were saying. They had all those elements of Ibibio language. Even people in Abriba, whenever they speak, the Aro people, whenever they speak, you can see those elements of Ibibio language everywhere. That tells you that Ibibio language was one of the oldest languages. And it didn't just stop in Nigeria. I don't know if you've read about the Bantu expansion or the Bantu migration. It extended beyond Nigeria. As we were moving down south, some of us decided to use the Cameroon, at the bottom of the Mount Cameroon, to move down further into southern Cameroon, across into Gabon, across into the Congo, all the way to Angola, into Namibia, Uganda, spreading. Some even went as far as Kenya, Tanzania, all the way to South Africa. That tells you how ancient the Ibibio language is. That tells you how much we should cherish that very ancient African heritage. We should be proud of who we are. We should be proud of our background. We should be glad to speak our language wherever we go with all boldness and temerity. Because it's not like any other language in Nigeria. Most of the languages you have in Nigeria are just new, are babies, teenagers just born. Our language is the mother language. And we want the Nigerian government to make it the fourth largest language, official language. Today, BBC has BBC Hausa, we have BBC Igbo, we have BBC Yoruba. It's time for us to have BBC Ibibio. Even on Google, when you go to Google Translate, they have Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, but not Ibibio, an ancient language that it is. It is time for us to put pressure on our government to act. They have to lobby Abuja, the federal capital, to make our language one. And we, the younger generation, can as well contribute by creating hashtag Wazobiadi. Anywhere you go, whatever you do, put Wazobiadi. People will be like, hey, what's going on? What is this guy talking about? What does this mean? You know, you start ringing a bell. It's some kind of silent revolution we are making. So it's never too late, guys. Let's act upon this. Ibibios are blessed people. Medo Nam, Medo Oron, Medo Eket, Medo Ibno, Medo Obolo. All of us we constitute that ancient language referred to today as the Ibibio language. We should be very proud of our roots. We should keep it flowing. We should keep the flag flying. And the only way we can achieve that is if we unite. We have to empower ourselves. We have to get educated. We have to start thinking, having a positive mindset of ourselves. And this is just the beginning. We still have so much to offer Nigeria and Africa as a whole.